Is a game, not a war. It's for...
Okay, here we are. We are at the Trashmouth Fantasy Football Propaganda Podcast, special Thanksgiving edition. And what we have today, we have a GM on the line, four-time champion, Doug's Endzone Freaks. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Great to be part of it. And a happy holiday to everybody.
All right, Endzone Freaks. First question on the Propaganda Podcast show. All right, after 6 weeks, Bengali Bombers was 6-0. Freaks, would you have ever thought you'd be at 6-4-1 with him, tied with 2 weeks to go in the season?
I was certainly hoping. I mean, you have to be hopeful in this league. I knew I had a good team. That's one thing I knew. I knew my team was going to make a run. The question was, I can't control Tmffl's destiny unless I'm playing him, but otherwise, I mean, who knows what could happen. I thought he would sneak a victory in here and there. I told him he was a paper tiger. I let him know it. And sure enough, last 5 games, he's winless. He was never as good as his record. I knew that. I knew him and Flip. I heard about him and Flip holding hands on the road show and all that. It's undefeated. Oh my, how things have changed.
That is definitely true, Endzone Freaks. You've definitely caught him. 2 weeks to go, and it looks like you got a matchup on week 13 for the division title. All right. The next question on the Propaganda Podcast show. In a Trashmouth Fantasy Football galaxy far, far away, the G-men once dominated you for a long, long time. You defeated G-men last week decisively and won the season series for the 7th time in 8 years versus the G-men again.
Yeah, well, what else is new? Like you said, in the galaxy far, far away, somehow we both went through a wormhole, and, he became the slave. I don't know what happened. I mean, he's just falling off. It's kind of getting to a bully stage. I kind of feel bad. It's almost like he's like holding on to my pant leg, and I'm just dragging him around town. I'm trying to shake him off. He still thinks he has a chance when he plays me. And I tell him, you can't win, Matt. You can't win. Just like, Adrian did in Rocky IV.
Guts, glory, and fear.
Put me on the one foot.
I give Matt credit, though. He had a bad year. He's been trying.
And then let me hear
He's had some bad luck,
speaker. Let
but
me hear the roar of the crowd.
he's not at my level.
On one side.
He's just not.
Let me get in the
It's just
car. See the
another
eyes
week.
roll as I call these plays. And
You can hope for the wild card in the future.
I mean, that's what the Super Bowl does to you.
All sights are set.
Okay, I definitely agree. It's been a tough year for the G-men, and the Freaks definitely had the G-men's number for a long time. All right, the next question. We have a special guest, Endzone Freaks, 4-time Trashmouth Fantasy Football champion on the Propaganda Podcast, Thanksgiving edition of Trashmouth Fantasy Football. The 6 shooters are blazing, rolling, shooting up everything in sight. However, 2 big injuries last week to Jay Cutler and Adrian Peterson could slow down the wagon train of the 6 shooters. What do you think about that, Freaks?
I think it's definitely a cause for concern for Sal, because he was really, up to this point, has been, although his record doesn't really show it, he's been pretty much unstoppable. He's scoring 60 to 70 points a week on a consistent basis. The team is scary. It's time for a title. I've actually said it, this is Sal's title or lose. However, these injuries are big. And make no mistake about it, Adrian Peterson has been scoring every week. Now he's got a high ankle sprain. The team is 2-8. You think they're going to rush getting him back? He's got no shot. This is a franchise player. Jay Cut, broken thumb. He may be done for the season. Right? You think Caleb Haney's going to run the show? Come on. They're going to prepare for him. They'll be ready for him. That's going to affect Matt Forte. Okay, well, let's stick with Sal. Arian Foss is going to be affected now with the sharp injury. They're going to be, loading the box up there. Matt Ryan doesn't scare anybody. I think things are going to change dramatically. I mean, certainly Rodgers is going to score points, but let's not forget, Green Bay is going on a big run. If San Fran loses another game, which could happen this week, when the brothers match up against each other on Thursday night, Thanksgiving edition, San Fran loses again. I mean, they have a bench situation, and then we might see a little bit more of Matt Flynn, which would really be bad news for the 6 shooters. So there are some chinks in the armor.
Okay, freaks, that's definitely a propaganda podcast viewpoint here on Trash Mouth Fantasy Football Thanksgiving edition. All right, getting back to the West Division, we have deja vu all over again. The Bengali Bombers versus the Freaks for the Western Division title on the final week. No matter what happens this week, you guys are going to be playing for the division title. You beat Bengali head-to-head on the final week in 2007, the last time Bengali made the playoffs. Bengali Bombers has got to be thinking, it's like, oh my God, here we go again. I got my best season in 4 years, and look who's right around the corner. My arch nemesis, the Endzone Freaks.
I know. It's like the cream rises to the top again. I was actually thinking about Thanksgiving this morning, and I'm kind of like the mashed potatoes in a sleep. I mean, I'm there every year. I'm at every Thanksgiving Day table. I'm there. I'm so consistent. It's scary.
That is true. You're trying to win your 5th division title in the last 6 years. I mean, that's a very impressive feat. No GM in the history of this league has ever won the division 3 years in a row in 19 years.
I know, possibly, 5 out of 6 division titles?
Yes.
If I win? So it's, I don't know, I'm starting to think you may have to get channel some of the funds, the surplus of the Trash Mouth Fantasy Football League, and maybe, just maybe, start working on a statue, because I'm pretty much bound for Trash Mouth Hall of Fame. No one's talking about it but me, but let's start the conversation. I think it's appropriate. We're going through some hard economic times, but... Wow,
you're like Chad Ochocinco. You got the Hall of Fame jacket out. You already want your induction ceremony. Yes, you have a very impressive career, but hopefully you have several more years to go for the Freaks.
Well, I look at it this way. I mean, I'm on my way to a 5th title. I'm in the dance again. I'm going to make some noise, man. If you guys haven't noticed, I scored 61 and 69 points the last 2 weeks. Watch out, Sal. Watch out, Duvall. But this is a game, a little bit of luck. I don't know who else is going to be in this playoff month in the East Division. But I'm willing to knock them out the box, too.
Okay.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The East Division has some strong teams this year. All right, getting back to the 6 shooters. Sal 6 shooters has never defeated you in the playoffs. 3 times in his career, he's battled you head-to-head in the playoffs. Bridesmaid in 1992. Another bridesmaid title in 2009. He also made the playoffs in 2007 together. So he's 0-3 versus you. Just like some teams have another team's number, like the Steelers over the Oilers in the late 70s, the Patriots over the Steelers recently in the 2000s. Can Sal beat you in the playoffs? I mean, you've had his number. Sal has a strong team.
Well, I think Sal knows the answer to that. We've all seen this movie before, guys. We know how it ends. Doug wins. End of